He didn't even know her name. In fact, he didn't know anything about her. Not her past, not her pain, not the storm she had walked through just to stand in that exact spot on that icy bridge. But in that split-second choice, one frigid December evening in downtown Toronto, he chose her life over his own comfort. And that changed everything. It was nearly 7 p.m., the streets glowing with holiday lights and laughter echoing from nearby coffee shops. But above all the noise and glitter stood a girl in a red coat, motionless on the edge of a bridge overlooking the Don River. Her hands clenched the railing as if the cold steel could somehow anchor her to life. People passed by, too busy, too wrapped in their own world to see her trembling. Except one. He was just a regular guy. Adam, a software engineer who had just left his office, late again, trying to make it to his mom's for dinner. But when his eyes caught the way she stood, too still, too silent, it stopped him. Something wasn't right. He didn't think, he just moved. "Hey," he called softly, carefully approaching her like a deer ready to bolt. She flinched, but didn't turn around. "It's really cold out here. Mind if I stand with you for a minute?" She didn't respond. Her silence screamed louder than any words. Adam didn't ask questions. He simply stood beside her, letting the wind whip between them. After a moment, he took off his scarf and gently draped it over her shoulders. "You're not invisible," he said, voice trembling with nerves, "not from the cold. Whatever's hurting you, it doesn't have to end here. Please." Tears slipped from her eyes, freezing almost instantly. She didn't jump. She didn't speak. But she slowly let go of the railing. And when she did, Adam silently offered his arm, and together they walked away from the ledge. She never gave him her name. She disappeared into the crowd after he helped her into a cab, whispering, "Thank you," like it hurt to say. Adam stood on that sidewalk for a long time, scarfless and confused, wondering if she'd ever really been there. 2 years passed. Adam had moved on with life. New job, new condo, same quiet soul. That winter, he was invited to speak at a mental health awareness event at a college. Not because he was a professional, but because someone had nominated him anonymously, saying, "This man saved my life without ever knowing my name." When he walked into the auditorium, he saw her, standing on stage, confident now, alive, her red coat replaced with a navy blazer, her eyes no longer full of storm, but light. She began her speech. "2 years ago, I stood on the edge. I was ready to disappear. And someone, a stranger, stood beside me and gave me something I didn't know I still had. Hope." Adam couldn't breathe. That was her. She smiled through tears. "I never told him my name that night, but I made it my mission to make sure he never forgot it. Because every day since, I've tried to live a life that would honor that moment." She looked right at him. "My name is Emily, and I'm here today because of you." The audience erupted in applause, but for Adam, it was all silent. Time slowed, like the snow beginning to fall again outside. That moment stitched something whole inside him. After the event, she walked up to him, hugged him tightly, and whispered, "This time, I won't disappear." And she didn't. They became friends, eventually more. But it wasn't about love at first. It was about survival. About two people who didn't need to understand everything about each other to recognize pain. In a city full of strangers, sometimes all it takes is one person to notice. One moment. One word. He saved her without even knowing her name. But she made sure he'd never forget hers. And neither will we.